and welcome to Hashtag Toe to Toe. My name is Leanne Johnson-Arneson and I am joined, as always, by Spencer Fearon and this week, former world middleweight champion Darren Barker. Darren, thank you for coming in.
Thanks
I know you've been quite busy lately with your gym. Just fill us in, how's it going?
Good. It's, to be fair, it's been better than I expected, if I'm honest. It's been busy, keeping me busy. It's been a bit of a shock to the system, being retired over 3 years now, and all of a sudden having to do some work. Right.
So what's the name of the gym?
12 threes.
36, anyway.
Oh, he's been waiting to do that all day.
It's the second time he's done it.
Yes, that's right. I can't help it. That's right.
But no, it's going really well, and yeah, get down there.
Great. I need to come down
Yeah, you got to get down.
Try it out. Okay, we'll get started. Darren MCS. Darren, any chance of you becoming a pro trainer?
No, not at the minute. I mean, never say never, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing, sort of running the business and training people that, you know, love the sport, not necessarily wanting to ever become a boxer, just want to get down and give it a go, or just to get fit. I'm enjoying that more. I think not having that discipline, because I think to be a top class trainer or to be involved in the sport, You've got to be so disciplined. You've got to be just as disciplined as the boxer themselves. And I don't have that desire at the minute to do it. If I'm honest, I know how hard it is. And
but I think you'd have so much to contribute because you've been there. Southern Area champion, British champion, Commonwealth champion, European champion, and IBF world champion. You've got so much. And seriously,
Yeah,
I think you're no, but I'm just being real. I think you're being a bit greedy there, Darren. I think you've got things. Seriously, you've got so many things to hand down, my friend.
I think you know, with some of the lads down Tony Sims's gym, if I can sort of be a mentor when I see any of them, I sort of put an arm around them. And
do you still go down?
I go down there as often as I can. Not as much as I'd like to, if I'm honest, because I'm busy. But you know, I see them at the shows, and when I do get down there, I try and lend as much support and advice as I can. Because you know, like I said, I've been there, I've done it. I was a pro for 10 years, so in that respect, I like to help. But to be a coach, I just don't. Joe, I was so fortunate to have been trained by so many good coaches as an amateur and as a pro with Tony. I had Tony all the way through from start to finish, and I think I was a very good student. But I don't think I'll be a very good teacher, if I'm honest.
At least you're on this one.
Jordan Harrison has tweeted in your opinion, who is the most underrated UK fighter at the moment?
Ooh, good question. Do you know one fighter I think who does get an awful lot of praise? He hasn't fought for a while, but I think he should be really getting lots and lots of credit, and that's Jamie McDonnell. I just think, you know, for what he's achieved, I think it's amazing. I think he's absolutely, you know, a phenomenal fighter, a great guy. Him and his brother, two great fighters. But I think Jamie, just going to Texas twice, fighting Kameda,
that was,
I think,
blinding
you
fights.
know, winning the first one was, I think, a bit of an upset of some sorts. But then to take the fight again and go back over to Texas, takes some courage, and he got the job done again. So for me, I think he should be, you know, on the front of everyone's lips. Everyone should be talking about Jamie McDonnell. I think he's a great fighter, and he doesn't get mentioned enough.
Spencer, who do you think?
I would go with Jamie McDonald. If I weren't going with Jamie McDonald, I would also say George Groves, because George Groves has managed to come back from adversity, being knocked out badly by Carl Froch, be able to brush himself off, gets another world title shot against Badu Jack, falling short on there, and he never stopped believing. And I think because there was a lot of hype about him in the beginning, because we expected this a lot of hype and for his fanfare of fighting, and then it didn't happen. I think George Groves, we should be giving him a lot of credit, because I think now he's become a world champion, we should be propsing him a bit more. So I think he's greatly underrated.
Steve Parsons has tweeted in, if Golovkin beats Canelo and wins impressively, do you think he will get recognition and the plaudits that he deserves?
He's getting the plaudits right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of credit. Nobody really wants to fight him, if I'm honest, you know. I was offered the fight with him, and it never happened for whatever reason.
He priced himself out, I heard.
No. I wanted the fight, but Tony didn't fancy it. But no, he has to. I mean, some are saying that Canelo's not a proper middleweight. He's not a real 160-pound fighter, but still, he's in that elite level category. And I think if Golovkin was to beat him, you know, he really has to get some credit for that, because if I'm honest, I'm probably just leaning towards Canelo.
Really?
So for that, if Golovkin was to put, I'm talking 51%. You know, I'm just edging Canelo. I just think he could outfox Golovkin. But if Golovkin was to win, then yeah, he'll go down one of the greatest ever middleweights.
Who do you think, Spencer?
I think, in this fight?
Yeah.
I'm going for Canelo because he's been in with a better class of opponent. And I also think it's the right time. Everything's about timing, as Babatunde Ajayi keeps on telling me. And I would say that right now, they waited for the right time to take this fight. And I think Canelo's been in a better class of opponent. And if it goes points, I cannot see no way that Golovkin's going to get the decision. And I saw Golovkin have trouble he had a minuscule trouble against a smaller man in Kell Brook, and he had trouble against Danny Jacobs. And I think you're dealing with an elitist fighter here who knows how to steal rounds, who knows how to take rests, and I'm tipping Canelo. But if Golovkin was to beat him, he'd get all the credit in the world.
I'll tell you now, my prediction is based purely on the Daniel Jacobs fight.
Right.
Because he was outfoxed, I think, and the fight could have gone either way. And I think Canelo's better than Jacobs. But it could be silly of me to judge Golovkin on one fight. So anything could happen.
Well, I'm judging him on 2 fights, that and the Kell Brook fight.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Ahoy.
Brian Pirro, can anyone beat Oleksandr Usyk in the forthcoming cruiserweight tournament?
I think rightly so. He's seeded number 1. He's the best out there, I think. I remember in the amateurs, great fighter. He's got it all. He can punch, he can move. He's got quick hands. I think the guy who could probably give him most trouble is Murat Gassiev. I think
he's very good.
I think again
very
seeded number 2, and rightly so. He's got an unbeaten record and lots of knockouts there. So if anyone was to push him, I'd expect it to be him. But again, predicting who wins that from the beginning, which is tough to do, I'll probably say Usyk.
Great lineup. Spencer, who do you think?
I've got Usyk all the way.
Yeah.
I rate him, I really do rate the guy. Just watch how he stands, and like he manages to pop his shots, and like he'll hit you at the snap of his shot. He doesn't punch through the target, he hits you at the snap, and he's armed, like he will have it elongated to hit you with the shots, and he's got very, very good balance. I've got him winning the tournament, but you know, in tournaments anything can happen, right?
Yeah,
because you never know.
Again,
but he's my guy.
And then, I mean, to go all the way through without getting injuries, and then
Well, you know about injuries.
I mean, that's another thing they've got to overcome.
Rich Evans, who is going to win the super middleweight super series? Don't sit on the fence, Darren. We want a name.
Yeah, don't sit on the fence.
No pressure.
For
Wait,
me, it's
sorry, is that a splinter? Just picked up there. Is that a splinter?
For me, it's that of our 2 guys. I think George Groves or Callum Smith.
Also, Chris Eubank Jr. is not one of our guys now?
I don't. Sorry.
I'm just trying to check that one out.
And Chris Eubank Jr. Sorry. Do you know what? I honestly keep visualising him as a middleweight.
Okay.
Still. So it's still new to me, really. But no, I think it's out of Smith and Groves for me.
Who would you like to see win it?
Well, I don't know. I'm a fan of both. I've known George growing up through the amateurs, and I know the Smith family really well. So either of those guys, I don't think Chris Eubanks Jr. can cut it with the best super middleweight, in my opinion. So for me, it's out the other 2.
Oh.
Does that mean I'm sitting on the fence?
No.
I think that was fine. I think you're happy with that one.
I've picked 2. All right.
Paddy Hanley, best young fighters to keep an eye out for the moment. Spencer, do you want to take us on that one first?
There's quite a few guys who I've got my eye on. I'm very impressed with Josh Taylor. I thought he was really, really well against O'Hara Davis.
Yep.
And I remember I've watched a video with you on iPhone when you were not critical, but saying things that O'Hara shouldn't have done in the fight, which I'm in total agreement with you on that. I'm very impressed with him. I'm very impressed with Anthony Yard. I'm really impressed with Joshua Boatsi. There's a great list. Isaac Chamberlain. There's a muted fight with Isaac Chamberlain and Lawrence Okoli going on there. I keep on saying it's a great time for boxing, but for me, standout guys, I really rate Anthony Yard and Joshua Boatsi, and you never know, down the line these 2 could fight and make a lot of money.
Darren, what do you think?
I'm going with Joe Cordina.
Right.
Again, a lot of people say, oh yeah, it's the Tony Sims camp, blah, blah, blah. But that's based on fighters that I've seen most of.
Yeah.
And it's not just on fight night, it's in the gym. And for me, the little Welsh wizard is something special. I mean, seeing him sparring, he's an exceptional talent, and he has that amateur pedigree, which a lot of the guys that you've just named do. But I just feel, for me, he can go all the way. If he wants it bad enough, there's no stopping him for me.
Joshua Murphy. Darren, be honest, in your opinion, who is the best fighter that you have ever faced?
I guess I would have to say Sergio Martinez, because I learned a lot from the great man. And without that experience fighting him in Atlantic City, I'm sure I wouldn't have gone on to go back there and win a world title. I learned an awful lot from him, ring craft and just ways of managing the rounds, and yeah, great fighter. But to be honest, one of the guys I sparred with, probably, and who I found the most difficult and
Miguel Kessler.
Kessler. He was special. He hurt me with jabs, and he was just, for me, everything I'm teaching down at my gym is keeping things simple.
Yeah.
Textbook. No rubbish, and that's all Miguel Kessler done. He kept things very simple. Solid jabs, 1-2s, double jab, right hand. You know, he wasn't there to be hit, high guard. He was just a very good fighter, and I think for all young kids, aspiring boxers, professionals, watch Miguel Kessler, because he's textbook, and I think that's the way to go on and be very successful.
Okay, my thanks to Darren and Spencer. Tune in next week for more #TortoTor.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.